Ask not for what we can do for you. Ask what you can do for we all be.
Dit is We All Be News and Radio.
Run, herd. Get up out of bed. Let's go. Let's go. Run, herd. That's the word. Get out of bed. Give me a jingle. My number 051. Get out of bed. Let's go. Don't be afraid. This is Herb Smith calling you. Herb Smith. Alright, I know you're famous and all that kind of stuff, but let's go. Get out of bed. Well, welcome back, family, to another wonderful edutainment edition of the Artivist Presents We All Be Radio. I'm your host for the empowerment segment once again, Brother Ron, also known as R2, C2, H2 the Artivist. As honored to have you on this Sunday evening. We got a special guest and special topic today. Today's topic, of course, Who Shot You? Had to lead it out with the classic Notorious B.I.G. 90s era classic Who Shot You? And for another is Brother GREgory. Brother GREgory, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. Getting better. Thank you. And an early happy holiday to you and the family and to all your listeners.
Well, some people think it's happy Thanksgiving Day, not Happy Thanksgiving Day.
Well, you know, when the Pilgrims first introduced Thanksgiving to us, it was Lincoln who changed that to a day of fasting. One of the strange things about Thanksgiving, and now you know it's been promoted now by merchandisers, but I heard him make an announcement 2 days ago that there's a shortage on fresh turkeys. Did you hear that?
Oh.
And they said that there's not a shortage on frozen turkeys.
Okay.
And they gave a warning: if you buy a fresh turkey, you can't let it sit in the refrigerator for more than 2 days because it'll go bad. Now, how many people don't know that?
I would say a lot of people don't know that.
Now, here's what's incredible about this. What do they put in frozen turkeys that they can last so long? Not just being frozen. What chemicals do you put in it? That the taste is not destroyed?
That's it.
And so somewhere, it might be too late now to have somebody who looks after our interests and not the interests of the big business. And so somewhere, we need to stop and think. Then things have changed. For instance, I looked at an article, and I don't know where I put it. There's 51 things in women's cosmetics that will hurt them and take X amount of years off their life.
Yes, sir.
There's Vaseline petroleum jelly. You heard that? Petroleum is what?
Oil, gas. Okay.
Can you imagine these thugs? And they're the politicians that run nothing. They'll frame them and do anything they want to be. For instance, the congressman from Tennessee the other day got busted for crack, for cocaine.
Yes, sir.
He got busted here in D.C. Had they busted in Miami, it would been a felony. But what kind of deal did they make with him, and what did they do to set him down? What would he know that he wasn't supposed to know? Look at the incident that happened in L.A.
Yes, sir.
The airport.
Mm-hmm.
The guy runs in, right?
Mm-hmm.
With his guns. Now, are you telling me that this government spends trillions of dollars to play little child games that somebody haven't come up with putting a system on every door you can come in from the street? That a buzzer would go off if you got something like a firearm or a light, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Are we that stupid to believe that we don't know what you got until you get to the scanner?
Mm.
And the people with scanners don't carry guns or weapons. So if you want to tell me that I can drive from here to Memphis and my cell phone time will automatically change without me doing it.
Yes, sir.
From Eastern Standard Time to Central Standard Time. So now let's go back and look at what happened. The guy came in the airport. Man, they got so many cops in them big airports. I'm not talking about the ones you see. I'm talking about the little women with the hump in their back and the clothes. Some of them police, man.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about guys who take a janitors.
Yes, sir.
That be in the toilet, clean up the toilet. See if anybody's saying something.
Mm-hmm.
And so, let me just say this. If me and you was terrorists, right?
Okay.
And we found a way to flip a bomb on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
But it couldn't be in one part. You have to have a part, and I have to have a part, right?
Yes, sir.
And we could go in undetected. So now, once we get in with this explosive, now we got to put it together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where's the most logical place to put a bomb together on an airline that's in flight?
Oh, it'll be a restaurant?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if me and you just know that off the top of our head, you think the government know that, right?
Yes, sir.
So the one place you'd have a camera going on the whole time that plane's in service would be where?
In the restaurant.
So I say to you ladies, when we go to the restaurant, don't have no raggedy underwear.
Yes, sir.
You think they're not looking?
Mm.
And that's why Hitler came to power. He terrorized everybody, and that go home. You're like a rat in a maze. I sit down and looked at white women. They came over this country free.
Mm-hmm.
And when they had a terrorist scare, I'm looking at white women take their shoes off and walk barefoot in the airport where millions of people come in like athlete's feet don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
You believe that?
Yes, sir.
I mean, they don't even give you some socks. That's been, temperature. Well, I wouldn't trust them anyway because they get temperature against socks. There might be some radiation stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They eat. So again, I'm saying what we do in this country would make Hitler blush.
Mm.
And so now let's look at the guy at TSA in L.A., right?
Right.
The guy runs in and shoots him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said he mad at TSA. He wants kids from TSA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the last time you been on plane?
Oh, wow. It was I think I would say last summer.
Okay, now you get on. You go through the scanner, right?
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of TSA agents there working on them scanners, right?
Yes, sir.
So he was mad at TSA agents. How come he go in there and just shoot one?
Mm.
Ain't nobody, and the cop, he left after shoot him and went upstairs on the excavator. Hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Why would he go in there and shoot one? He got a loaded loaded gun. They're right there. They ain't got no guns. So why didn't he shoot 3 or 4?
Mm-hmm.
Since he said he's mad at TFA. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then he runs upstairs, right? You saw it didn't. He gets on the estimator and go upstairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't shoot nobody up there. he comes back downstairs and shoots the same guy again. Oh, wait a minute, hold it. If the guy's family is listening to this show, they could go hire a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I said, wait a minute. The TSA, a lot of people be working in that area, right?
Yes, sir.
So when he come down, you mean none of his friends, none of his co-workers is been over, seeing if he's okay? Huh? Rubbing his head, huh? Plus, you mean no other cops? One of the biggest airports in the world, and a guy been shot and everybody know it, buzz goes out and nobody makes it through there, so when he come back again, there's cops there. Oh, come on, America.
Right.
Or was that someone that knew something they had to take out?
Well, it's interesting you say all that because when I'm hearing you talk, I'm thinking about the JFK assassination or conspiracy. Mm-hmm. How they just followed the code of law, how they moved the body out of Texas, which it should be the autopsy at Parkland, and how they contaminated the crime scene. Well, I know you have information on that.
Yeah. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
They violated the father of the president. He's that little ordinary person, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not true, but I'm saying let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's go back to that day, that morning, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Lee Harvey Oswald got the job at the book depository, right?
Yes, sir.
6 weeks before Kennedy was shot, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That call was not supposed to go down Elm Street until 30 minutes before he was shot.
Mm-hmm.
Now watch this. If Lee Harvey Oswald was working alone, how did he know that car was going to go down Elm Street to be able to go and get him a job at the book depository 6 weeks? Oh, okay.
Mm.
Before the 22nd. Get it?
Yes, sir.
Now that's very important. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Very important. Okay? Now, Lee Harvey Oswald is in the military, the Air Force. When you check him out, you find out he was an agent for the government,
mm-hmm.
CIA, and he goes to Russia, and he defects from the United States military.
Mm-hmm.
And becomes a spy for Russia. Now, he marries a Russian woman, okay? And then moves back to America with him and his wife, and neither one of them are indicted? He's not prosecuted?
Mm-hmm.
American soldier that runs away from the army, goes to Russia, start working for them, come back to America with a Russian wife.
Mm-hmm.
And he not indicted? Who is he?
Mm-hmm.
Now, he didn't know the assignment they was giving him. He was the pastor. He didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're getting ready to kill the president. And somebody is stupid enough to hit the president with a mail order gun. Just a robot.
Right.
That day, he had no car. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, after they said he shot the president, he made his getaway on a bus. Public transportation.
Right. Mm.
Now, there are prostitutes that work all over the world. And they don't plan their tricks based on the transportation availability.
Mm.
You're going to turn a trick here and then you're going to leave, thank you, put your change in your purse, and then go outside and wait for a bus to come so you can get to your next job. Huh?
Mm.
Now you have to cut a little slack for Americans because when there's a tragedy that you're looking at that's unfolding, you're nervous, you're scared, you're angry.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things slip by you when you're not suspecting the people you're angry with didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So every minute, if I came by your house to tell you about a tragedy in your family, every second I would say, bulletin. And now we interrupt this to bring you, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to hear the whole story. We didn't. We got interruptions, we got bullying, we got them interviewing people,
mm-hmm.
who some of them are CIA, some of them are crooked. The crooked, not the crooked, listen, the crooked police.
Right.
That's been planted.
Mm-hmm.
The script that CBS and ABC and NBC, most of them don't know it, but these folks that come in, they've been government.
Mm-hmm.
And then where I get you years later is when you, who wrote books and pointed out areas, when you come on my show to talk, I also have somebody to counteract everything you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love about black radio, especially Catchy Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
You come on her show and say if they want to hear another side, let them call the FBI. I'll give you another side. And you look at the people who say, oh, them folks is crazy, and the network people don't answer no serious questions.
Mm-hmm.
No serious questions. How? Now look at me, man, born October 12, 1932. Didn't know where my daddy was. Welfare wasn't invented then. Just poor and raggedy. I have spent more money and more time and energy trying to find out what happened to Kennedy than the Kennedy family. Huh? You know? No, these white folks out here talking about Negroes. I have spent a fortune. A fortune. Going everywhere, checking out leads, sending authority people who know how to check.
Mm-hmm.
And the Kennedy family happy.
Mm.
And you think the Kennedy family don't know what I know?
Mm.
Let's go back. So, Kennedy shot. Now, I had an astrologer that I was traveling with. Well, he's also a comedy writer. In fact.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing a 29 or 30-day tour. So I was traveling with a great piano player. Had the #1 record in America at that time. Zinsko Albi. I watched this now.
What?
We in Texas. On the start of the show, I said to the white lady that was singing with his band, and to all the white folk, the college tour. Those of y'all been to college, you gonna see sorority, brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Don't date them. Don't go to dinner with them. And Lord, don't go to the frat house. Why? But Negroes and Jews couldn't belong to most of them.
Mm.
And I'm not taking y'all on a tour, paying y'all top dollar for y'all to participate in something that the boss can't participate in.
Mm.
Well, now we get to Illinois.
Mm.
It's the 20th. I think Kennedy is in San Antonio.
Okay.
Famous all over the world to that day because he gave some of his speech in Spanish.
Mm.
And the crowd went crazy. and the reporters went out of their line. Jim Sanders, my coming said to me, I taught him how to drink. I didn't want to drink himself to death, but he did. He was an alcoholic. I was worse than alcohol. He was drinking because he needed it. I was drinking because I liked it. Smoked 4 packs of cigarettes a day, and the blessing from the universe. I had no idea then that not only would cigarettes kill you, the government and the industry knew it. I didn't. 4 packs of cigarettes a day. I never smoked a cigarette in my house. Not because I knew anything. Not because I thought anything would fly away. The old folks thought cigarettes was evil and just that. Well, they dip and snuff and chewing tobacco and then never knew that was a narcotic. That's why they feeling so good. Snuffing tobacco had more nicotine in it than cigarettes did, but as long as you can fool me and make me think I'm not, I will never question why I feel so good. That's how I believe myself. So consequently, then I looked around, smoking, drinking, never had a drink of alcohol in my house. I'm one of the top entertainers in the world. So now, Jim Stanley said to me, never look, he looked at me and Kenny finished speaking in Spanish.
Oh, Brother Greg, I don't mean to interrupt you. If you said I need to hear you a little bit better. Can you speak up?
Yeah, okay. Am I any better now?
Yeah, it's better, yeah.
Okay, so now what happened is Jim Stanley said to me, in 2 days, man, he's going to be shot in his head. Come on, Jim, how you know? Well, I just plant the stars in the sky and looked at his chart and the configurations and nope, it's going to be a tragedy. Now, he didn't say be killed. Shot in the head, okay? So I'm looking at it. Listen, I'm playing with it. Although I know about astronomy and astrology. I'm just having fun with him. Come on, Jim, how you know? And the stars not long. So now on the 21st, we in Illinois at Western University. After the show is over, we go to the 22nd, we go to the University of Pittsburgh. So you leave there on a little flight and you fly to Chicago, then you change planes to go to Pittsburgh. So I called my wife and said, do me a favor. Take Jim's tickets in line and then call the office and tell them we coming in on a later plane. So change the planes from 10 o'clock that morning to 5 o'clock because I don't go on to 9:30. And so now I'm going to play a game, ain't? And Jim, I said, Jim, let me tell you something. Let me apologize. I had never gave you your proper dues for being such a world-renowned astronomer. Man, I cannot tell you how much I admire you for doing that type of work. So I told Leah to call the office and cancel our show tonight. What show? I said the show. Why? I said, you said the Kennedy going to be shot? No, there's going to be no show of Kennedy shot. Now he started getting nervous. Well, wait a minute, you know, sometimes, Jim, will you tell me the stars are level on? Jim, wait a minute, man. No. I got faith in you, my brother. Now, he don't know we're going on a later plane. So now we get to Chicago. All the team changed planes. I told my fiancé, I told him I had a doctor's appointment. So Jim and I get in a cab. And he never even dawned that I didn't get my luggage. which I didn't. The luggage went straight through. But the little carry-on bag I had them. But he didn't notice that if we're not going, how come we didn't get the bags? So now we get in the cab, and I give him my home number, and I hear something mumble jumble on the radio. And I said, did something happen? And that black hair's guy looked back at me, man. Everybody talking about where were you when you heard? I was in this cab, man, playing a practical joke on my good friend, and the cab driver turned around and said, you haven't heard? The president's been shot in Dallas. And it was one thing that the president's been shot. It's another thing you sitting in the car with somebody that told you 5 days early. So I'm going out of my mind, man. I'm going, wow. I'm so hooked on thinking about this brother sitting next to me told me something was going to happen. More so than I am the president's been shot. So now we get to my house, and I go in, and my wife's face is all different. Everybody is just... So I say to her, I said, you know what? I need you to... What's nothing but 3 networks, NBC, CBS, maybe. I need you to put the 3 networks on. It was television and different news, because I made my living with the news.
Right.
So she put them on. I grabbed the tape recorders. I called the guy downstairs. I said, would you run to the store for me and get me about $200 worth of tapes? But tape recorder. And so I sent Leah down to give him $500 in case I needed something else. So he go down and said, now we're hooking up the tapes. And I'm listening to it. And here's what I hear. The president, we don't know if he's dead or not, but he has been shot. We can confirm that. And it's about 10 or 15 other people that's been shot. Look, ask yourself a question. If you shooting in a crowd, you ain't hitting nobody but the person you shooting? Come on, y'all. And then people was running because they said it came from the grassy knoll, which was in front. Now show you how people are when they serious about something, which is the president. Most folks hear gunshot and they run. Everybody but the cops run to it. When you see that film, it was hundreds of people running to where the shots came from. Just ordinary citizens. You saw cops pulling up their gun. That's how sure they know the shots came from up there. And some people saw the white puff of smoke, okay? Now, meanwhile, I don't know this. I'm just looking. I don't know it's anything other than what they telling us. So I look at it, and I make sure to Leo, keep your eye. So when the tape go down, here was my thinking. I wasn't looking for no conspiracy. I'm saying if 100 years ago when Abraham Lincoln was shot, we had radio or television, had somebody recorded that. Let's say you. Now 100 years later, you know how valuable that film is? Not to you, because you dead, but to your folks, to the ancestors. You know what people said? I was down in the basement looking through some trunks and suitcases and found this, and I found out it's worth $30 million. Because if a lot of people recorded it in 100 years, they may not know where it is. They die, and the kinfolk come in to clean up the place and throw all that away. So that's what I'm thinking about. No conspiracy, just the value of this. 100 years from now. Now here comes the evening news. And here's what I hear. I've heard those people talking about and I heard the ambulance coming in and going out. If Kennedy is shot and his car is gone, why ambulance is still coming? So now I said, wait a minute. Something's not right. And when news changed so fast, even the folks that's in the forward, the news happens so fast, they get up and say the wrong thing. So some guy said, well, can you explain to the American people, to the world, what happened? He said, well, I really don't know. But I know one thing. I'm monitoring the television, and I hear all the people talk about other people were shot and talking about this and that and what they saw. Then now when the 5 o'clock news come on, then same people they're interviewing have a different story. They're not telling the same story. They say the only thing they all have, the common denominator, all of them had said they had spoke to the Secret Service. So it's obvious the Secret Service and told them to change that. Now I get so aggravated, I jump up and snatch the television plug out the wall. That I cannot believe they're doing this right in front of our face. Now after I snatch them out the wall, I throw the tape away. That's how angry I am. Instead of keeping all of that. So now I'm unplugged and I'm just listening and knowing I'm listening to the lies. So that's how I know I wasn't no dealing in trickery, conspiracies that's going on. I'm sitting there with my own eyes and my own intelligence in my own house, and I see it unfolding before me. Well, I don't have no research team. Not then. So what am I looking at? And I can't get the questions because the government's tricky. After I got down into this, I found out that JFK, some say was the #1 lawman in the world. Well, that ain't true, but he had power. And most folks knew he was gay like the mob, and that's why they blackmailed him, and he could never deal with the mob. They had pictures of him in a dress in New York. So him and his lover, with the president shot at 1 o'clock Dallas time, him and his lover, they go to the racetrack in Baltimore at 4 o'clock that day. President shot. Wow. New York Times didn't run it. Washington Post didn't run it. Baltimore Sun didn't run it. So now watch this. At this time, I didn't know all this. This has come out later. So now, the whole world is outraged, sad, hurt. And then they make an announcement, NBC, CBS, and all the radio stations will not run no commercials for the next few days. All we're going to do is play music. And to be honest, I never thought until this happened there was nothing that could take the place of comedy. Laughter is good medicine. And then I realized now that we couldn't have got through, but I've been 3 days of music. 3 days of music. 3 days of music. And 24 hours round the clock to lose. There wasn't no break for the weather, wasn't no break for nothing else. Just this. But I didn't realize that's how propaganda works. You can't give me a break. You got to give it to me, give it to me, and give it to. Now, when I get out here now, I know it's a trick. The thing that frightened me is I didn't believe white folks would tolerate it. I mean, I didn't live around white folks. I didn't know no white folks. We had a rigid, segregated neighborhood. Now, one of the things you black folks like that talking about, that we live in a community. We don't live in no communities where you control your education, you control your schools, you control your cops, you control your banking and finance, you control your business. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. What is a hood Something you put over your head when you're trying to hide something. Do you know how a white racist system that made me as a black person think I'm ugly? Let me show you how. If you saw a sign that said general office, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order to go in there, you got something wrong with what?
You sound like going there. What would say that again, Bert?
You saw a sign say, a dental office.
Oh, your teeth, dental, yeah.
Okay, if you saw dental supply office, and if you wasn't a dentist, why would you go in there, right?
Yes.
So the name of it kind of tells you this is the place you need to go, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Grocery store, you go in there to get what?
You got groceries.
Okay. So when you see a place in the black community say beauty shop, right? Only you go there if you think you ugly.
I never thought like that about that.
And we don't even know that. Salon, all kinds of stuff that white folks name theirs. And that's the white folk think they're ugly, so they got a handful into there. But I'm saying for me to go to a beauty shop, it means I'm shopping for beauty. And I don't know, I hate myself. We just think of something like that brother that kind of said he hates the fact of being black. Well, he's honest. I had 7 daughters and 3 boys. And you folks that's listening to me, the children, you know what it's like in the morning during school time. I used to get up and leave the house. My wife be combing them girls' hair. They be screaming and howling, man, like they're on a conveyor belt going towards your Mommy. And we not hearing that God is telling us, I gave them nappy hair. They didn't get it from Sears and Roebuck. They didn't get it from first. That comes from the universal God. But not only did I make you every pebble of grass on the ground, I'm not talking about the church. I'm talking about the God. Dinosaurs disappeared 2 billion years ago. There's not a church that can equal 2 billion years. So what was there before the church? What was there? That's a God that put sand, water, every star in the sky. That God gave you your hair, gave you your wide nose. That one gave you your nappy hair. So you got nerve enough. I ain't talking about white folks. I don't know what y'all do. I heard black folks say, ooh, see the baby got good hair. Well, it said good hair. It means that's bad hair. So if the universal God makes your hair, then you saying God makes good hair and bad hair. The good hair I like, the bad hair I don't. And so have my head up so bad. Have you ever heard the white folk saying, because you heard the black folks say, tall, dark, and handsome? You heard that?
Yeah, yes, sir.
They never called Sidney Porter, hear that? They never called Harry Belafonte, hear that? They never called all the nice-looking, handsome black men we know. Why? Tall, dark, and handsome mean that's a white dude that's passing for white. Clark Gable. Everybody that know to know he's Negro.
Clark Gable, huh?
Clark Gable. Tall, dark, and handsome. When Rudolph Valentino committed suicide, you know how many white women committed suicide?
I read about it, yes.
And then they found later he was gay. No. And he's a Negro. Tall, dark, and handsome. Those of you in the black community, when's the word time you call him some black brother lady? Oh, he tall, dark, and handsome? Oh, girl, he is good looking. And so when you sit and look at how this trick works, how they lock us down, and we got nerve enough. You know how many black men out here walking to a bar and see them yellow sisters over there and pick up every tab they got? Because a system that made me think the way God made me, the universal God, there's something wrong with it. So now watch this now. I get a wig and they'll know I'm crazy. Not because I'm bald-headed, not because I had chemo. If Harvard, Mayo Clinic, and there's another good, the University of Wisconsin. If they came out with documented research that proves that nappy hair cures cancer, the hottest selling product in the black community would be Kink Quick. And every white folk will be passing laws to integrate the community. So I can have this nappy hair in the neighborhood with me. We gotta get first dibbies on it.
Oh, that's powerful.
And things happen like that. Let me tell you, when I was a little boy, if you wanted to go to the military, fight for your country, that if you was colorblind, you hear me? Colorblind. That's all of this class now. You was 4F, you couldn't be in the military because you couldn't see colors. Got me? Colorblind. Now, if you born and you're 28 years old, you can't read or write, you can't spell. You can go into the military now, all over the world, and make $1,000 more than a captain makes. You know why?
What?
You can't see color, you can't see camouflage. So when the enemy is out there in the woods, in the jungle, and got all that green stuff and look like trees, well, you see right through it. You look up the window, you don't see no color.
That's right.
See how things that wasn't no good is now some good?
That's right.
Now watch this. You ever seen a bullfight? The movies on TV?
Yes, sir.
The Matador. That's the guy. That's the whole set thing, man. Now, what kind of rag do you wave in front of the bull to make him mad?
Oh, red.
Red, right? Now, what happens when you find out the bull is colorblind? Bulls don't see color. Is that wild?
Yeah, wow.
So, men see color. The red light district, that's prostitute, man. Why do you think they label it red? And called it the red light district. When you saw the movie with Dillinger with Skills, who killed the little lady in red? So if men see red, women see red, but it means a different thing to a man. It stimulates my whole sex thing. So if red stimulates my male sex thing, then who you think they trying to simulate sex thing out there on the bull field? The bull won't see color. It's to stimulate the man's thing and to make him not want to die, not die. You don't care about dying. I'm looking at this until the bull gets close and you take that little sheet and wave it. You don't see no red. And the bull gets closer to it and that's all that game. So now we go back to the universal God gave me my nose. Not some Ku Klux Klaner who hates me. Gave me my nose. That same God gave me my nappy hair. Now, let's watch this here. Watch it real close now. Don't miss this. So, because of my melanin, right? This white motherfucker, educated, don't even know nothing about. This black one, don't know nothing about. That's my gift from the universal God. My melanin. And that's why we're the only slave in the history of slavery, black folk. But they couldn't hold us in bondage. 5,000 years. Look in the Bible. The minimum a slave was 5,000 years. They couldn't hold us but what? 300. And we broke them chains. Why? He thought he was stealing a worker. He was stealing a scientist with all my melanin. I built it, pyramid, white boy. Not Harvard, Yale. I performed all that stuff when you embalm my mummy with. That's why y'all stealing them. You want to see your mummy? Don't go to Egypt, man. Go to University of Michigan. And they still having crap. Here, white supremacy, and they see these things flying around. What they call them? Unidentified what?
Flying objects. Yes, sir.
What I mean, they don't know what they are. They don't know what they are. That's what they exactly. If you can't identify. And so consequently now, what happens is most of them buildings in Europe, but the world needs a path to see. We built it. The Moors built it. Hannibal went up in the Alps. He's fighting Italy with no army. He took elephants. He put camels on both their tusks and went up the Alps, man. And they thought the mighty army was coming. That Jesus. No, he beat them up. And so now, the white boy, he's been trying to come up with an elephant since he can't make an elephant do that. So he said, okay, closest we can come. That's what the tank is. Because I couldn't make an elephant go up mountain. I created a tank. That's why the tank leads the brigade. And then after the tank go in, then comes the troops. That come out of my genius. All the stuff they use to get to outer space, we've been had that. On paper, how you do it, how you do this, how you do that. Some people say, well, why didn't you do it? How you know we didn't? How you know what happened then?
Well, the History Channel, they said ancient aliens did it. They won't give credit to that. They said, like, aliens did it. Why
would I give it to you? Why would I give it to somebody that doesn't like themselves? If God gave you nappy hair and you change it, why I want to be your friend? If you went to your house and your dog had found out by watching you, they could go look in the mirror and take your shaving kit, and you come and make yourself look like a cat, right? You throw that thing out the house. You wasn't born a cat, now why you want to look like one and act like one?
Well, you talk a lot of logic, but I think people so used to propaganda, like you said about the Kennedy assassination, where they kept on feeding people propaganda for 3 straight days without a break. And you talk about the LAX shooter. You talk about how a lot of cops are undercover. And I keep on thinking about when you were saying that, I think about the tramps in daily plazas, like the tramps with nice shoes on and clean shaven. How can you be a tramp with nice shoes and clean shaven?
Because nobody told them they're supposed to take it off. When them tramps, they're arrested, you can see that decoy cops are in the neighborhood. They forget to take off them $400 pair of shoes. You can just walk down and look at the average cop shoes and don't decoy. That's what it's about. But people buy it, especially black folks, because the hatred I have for myself and don't even know it. I don't even know it. I don't look the way white folks supposed to say I'm supposed to look to go and honor my son's graduation, so my mother didn't come. She didn't have the right clothes to wear. That all the way through. One of the fine human beings in the history of St. Louis had graduated from a high school. World-renowned. Track, cross country, and nobody could play a drum like I did. Mom didn't see you. Thanks for that, Mom. We didn't know where Dad was. I'm glad you didn't. And so, it's that whole thing. I can't hate me and love me. It don't work. And so, when love, like me putting sour lemons in the body, and the brain picks it up. Something wrong. That's a bad example, because when you eat lemons, once it gets to the digestive system, it turns from acid to alkaline. That's why when people have an upset stomach, I tell them you get you a piece of lemon rind and eat it. It'll cool it out. Y'all remember that, cause you got this thing coming up next week. You gonna be all messed up. And those of you that know you won't eat, then go to the health food store if that's in your mentality and buy you some charcoal tablets. If you don't know what health food store is, pick you some bread, some white bread. Put it in the oven and burn it. Let black stuff and your toast. It's charcoal. And you just eat that before you eat your dinner. You don't have to scrape it. Just eat it like that. And then after you eat your dinner. See? Now, them charcoals y'all use to barbecue with, that'll kill you. That's made out of petroleum. Petroleum, that's gasoline. The barbecue, what you use, charcoal, for digestion, is made from peach pits. I do it making it different. My mom and I was a little boy, her mother, get that ash off of us. They get through with the newborn baby. That they put on us. Gasoline, petroleum, that's gasoline, right? You know about breakfast along with the pamphlet? Do you know if you got caught selling gasoline petroleum down, you would go to jail and probably get more time if you were selling dope? That's gasoline.
Well, you just put a whole, you put a whole other perspective. We come up with the baby. I think about burn, baby, burn. The quote that people use, burn, baby, burn, was it? Did it originate from people putting Vaseline on their baby?
They didn't know. The people didn't know. Nobody knows. All we knew, especially if you was dark complected, didn't have no ash on you. No. Put on your hair. Women not put on their lips. Even white women. We set trends. And so consequently, I'm going to say this again, Vaseline, petroleum, chili, olive oil. A little baby, if you didn't put the Vaseline, just rub them down with gasoline, what do you think happens to the inside? So when you put Vaseline with it, it just slows what's going to happen in a long time. It slows it up. Just liters something over a long period of time. So anyway, when we sit and we look at what we're looking at and what they're giving us, we're still on the Kennedy thing now. So now we go back to the Kennedy. We sit home, we watch it, oh my God. Oh, please, help me. Well, what's wrong? What's going on? Oh, I just feel so bad that John Kennedy was killed. And then we just look at it and see what happened and how long it's been going on. So now, you got 50 years later, and we still buying into the same trick. But we didn't know it was a trick. And those people out here like Mark, and they could get by with it because they didn't have shows like this. They didn't have people listening. I called a friend of mine that didn't, early. I said, well, I got to hurry up and get back to New York because Dick Gregory is going to be on such a show today. I said, 4 o'clock, yeah. How you know, son? It's on the internet. And all of us, when his shows come on, not just because you on, all of us look at that. Because we know we're going to get some good stuff.
Yes, sir.
We know that. So that's in tribute to you. See, once you have an integrity that people can trust, then they don't have to go check nothing. Everything you told me, I wouldn't have to run and punch it up on the internet. Because I know your integrity, and I know if it's not real, you're not going to say it. So you cut all the kind of time off. You told me about that woman, his child had been circumcised. I can call people all over the country, got him on the show. They're not the question. Yeah? I told my son, chiropractor, told him what happened and told him what she says, how that woman said that white woman looked at her like she had done something wrong. You know what my son told me? Dad, she only made a lawyer. Let me tell you something. Here's how this case go. What you just finished doing, you just stopped his generation. He can never recreate himself. He said, Dad, that's worth millions of dollars. We're not even getting into, you're not getting into the other stuff in that hospital. You know, was the doctor drunk? Was he angry? Was there a reason to this? And so consequently what I'm saying is somewhere when you look and can see what they're doing, all you gotta do is slow up. It's what God says. Jesus is lying. You ain't gonna get mad at somebody. None whatsoever. And so when you stop and think about it, here's the thing in the Examiner, San Francisco Examiner. When I was looking through some files, because I got lit for a new book next week, and I was pulling all my stuff up. And I found the San Francisco Chronicle, 2 pages, but I got to look back and find the other one. Government injects veterans with cocaine for drug addiction research. Did you hear that?
Yeah, just out here research.
That's April the 29th, 09. Now let me say this again. Headlines. Government injecting veterans with cocaine for drug addiction research. You heard that, right?
Yes, sir.
They got caught. And that's when they said they was doing drug addiction research. They was giving them tests to see something else. What level of cocaine can I put in your drinking water? Can I put in the bread before you detect it, huh? That's why they had to change it at the end. Why were y'all doing that? Oh, we was doing it for drug addiction research. Thousands of veterans who y'all claim y'all like. Veterans Day, huh? Please. They come back, they can't find work. About 29 veterans a month is committing suicide.
Or almost every day.
Every day. Why? You don't care about them. You don't care about them at all. Huh? And I say to you, anytime you can wave your flag to get your young folks to the front line of battle, but you can't wave that flag when they come back. And I said, that ain't no flag you wave. That's a rag. And the sooner you understand that, the better off the veterans will be. And they don't care. You know how lousy you have to be to give up your life willing to kill somebody because a handful of rich heathen men don't like them? Is you willing to go and then tell me, and you black folks thought the problem in the black community, ain't no black man at home. Well, wait a minute. Well, how about when I go to war and get killed and my children don't have no daddy, right? There ain't no black man home there. Oh, that don't count. No, that don't count. That's okay. That's okay. It's just when you walk off on your own. When you just be incitement. And so when we go back and look at Kennedy now, we moving in now, the doctor at Parkland Hospital that did the autopsy, he's now admitted on the oath that he did not roll Kennedy's body over and look behind. Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
He did not look behind Kennedy. That's why he can't say whether the entrance board or exit buildings came out the back. I didn't know. I didn't write him over. That was on Friday. I'm sorry. That was on Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 2 days later, he carried all his notes home from Boston House to the doctor and burned them. And nobody said, oh, wait a minute. We can't let you get back with this. Come on. Okay. See, that's how it works. Burned them. Then they put Kennedy on the presidential, not the president, but another plane in, because that plane they sent back to Cincinnati at 4 o'clock Dallas time to be completely overhauled and put back into service. But what about the evidence? What about the value? I go around the world, I go to these events and I see hatchets and axes in there, kings and cut their woman's head off or kill their brothers so they could become king. But all at once, this card is so insignificant, we're going to send it back today and have it pressed back into service, get the blood out so nobody can go and check. So now, the 3 tramps that was up, they got arrested. Cops got them and arrested them. Raoul was one of them's code name. E. Howard Hunt was the second, and Frank Sturgis was the third one. Frank Sturgis was a Cuban. Worked for the CIA, the FBI. Raoul's code name. Did you see the movie White Man Can't Jump?
Yes, sir.
Woody Harrison?
Yes, sir.
That was his daddy. That was his daddy. The third tramp. He was the one they sent to take Gabriel Ray down that route. They made a mistake and killed a federal judge in Dallas, Texas. And got arrested. You know, all cops ain't bad. One got there, didn't know the trick, arrested him. And he was crazy, man. Person. He said, y'all can't do nothing to me. But let's be honest, CIA. Here, call Washington, call this number and give him my code name. Number. So they told him to come to the phone, and the guy on the other end said, you really messed up. Raoul, you were not supposed to get high and act a fool like you have. He said, but you keep your mouth shut. We're going to send some people in there to take care of you. What we're going to do is get this trial transferred out to a friend of ours, federal judge. Just keep quiet or you go into electric. So they transferred it. The trial started. They found him guilty but sentenced him to life in prison. Who was the friend? A federal judge named William Sassons. You ever heard that name before?
What was his name again?
Sassons. He head of the FBI, remember?
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, okay, wow.
That's what we pay our friends off for being hoodlums and thugs and dogs. William Sassons became head of the FBI. And while wasn't nobody looking, Brother Harrison was killed in jail. They say he died in jail. He killed in jail. Case closed.
Wow.
And so now you look back at those tramps. They're arrested. They carried them in. President just been shot. They in front. There's no smoke coming from the gunshot. They carried the police headquarters. They didn't book them. They didn't fingerprint them. They booked them under a John Doe. Not fingerprint. and they let him go. Now that's what we're looking at. That's the mess, and that's the mess that's still here now. And the reason what twice as bad on the president, I didn't like you before you got in trouble. So you got that whole segment out there don't like him because he's black. And so would love to see him there, but they don't have the expertise to kill a president. And if Obama came up shot tonight, you know the Tea Party didn't do it. You know that. And so consequently now, we move on. So now, they got the cover up. So now, we was told after certain things happened, we want you to get out of there. But they thought Gibbets, the cop, was going to kill him. That was the assignment. No questions asked. We got people saw him bring the rifle in. There's a thumbprint on the rifle. There's a palm print on the rifle. He dead. So everybody open and close. But he wanted a Coca-Cola, and he went down to the soda machine. They didn't know he was down there when the shots fired out. Everybody was running. Instead of him going back upstairs where he supposed to be, he left the building. He left the building. He walked down the street. And now he's standing in the doorway. And we got pictures of him. Pictures taken at the door. So he couldn't have been up there at the same time. And so now, they tell Lee Harvey Oswald earlier that day, once you leave here, we want you to go to this address. So when he got to that address, they knew, but the cop didn't kill him. So now they got to kill the cop. And they told the cop, if you listen, lead him at this place here. That's where he was killed. He was over there waiting. And if these two guys pulled up, one came and talked to him, leaned on his, let the window down, he was talking to him there. And then he went around to the passenger side, opened the door, and shot him.
I know they said Davey Kippy, he was military intelligence, right? The officer.
Yeah.
Was he in military intelligence? Davey Kippy. Yeah. Okay.
So now, the guy owns the shoe store down the street, he saw it. That's when he was telling them what the conversation was about. And they knew it wasn't things all right. I mean, they knew it wasn't what guy did he kill the president?
Oswald, Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oswald.
Mm-hmm.
Two people showed up. So then they told Oswald, who didn't know what had happened, we'll meet you at the movie theater. You go to a movie theater, and guess who called the cop? The lady selling tickets. You ever been to a movie? The ticket counter ain't even where the movie is.
That's great. Wow.
Everybody acting nervous and jumping all up and running over the movie. When they come in, they say when they grab Oswald, he grabbed his gun, but the cop put his thumb in between the gun and the pin in the dark movie. And then they play that out, and they give it to us. And all of that is theater. And then so consequently now, the drama moves on. Now they send for 2 priests to give the last rites to the president. I know the president didn't die in Dallas. He was a vegetable.
You say the president didn't die in Dallas?
Did I say that?
Yes, sir. You just said it. Yes, sir.
Yes, I did. Okay. He died. So now, they said, well, wait a minute. So either the priest was lying or they lied to the priest. So now they got to move the president to D.C. So that plane comes in, takes him to D.C. By the time the plane arrived in D.C. and they took the coffin off, Kennedy's brain was missing. Well, how can you just be shot? And the security is so lax. Somebody can steal the president's brain? And so, all of that, they couldn't explain it. So all of the evidence they had when they changed coffins, because we got to get the president a coffin without all this blood in it. So the coffin that brought Kennedy back was the one in the archives. And then in 1999, you could pull this up in the L.A. Times or BBC released it, that Kennedy's original coffin was dumped in the Atlantic Ocean at this area, laying 9,000 feet underwater. So what they do that for? Well, they said, well, Bobby came and took the coffin. They really said, Bobby, if you the police chief of Chicago and I get killed, you have no right going by where the evidence box and take something out. That's who you are. That's a violation of the law. Say anything about Bobby now, but he dead. They can't talk about it. So now we look at the whole piece run down. We buy into all the craziness. And now we move to some other places. All the news meet. Now you look at was the guy was a pool reporter, a little punk reporter from Dallas. He became head of CBS News. Dan Lambert. If you saw the special, you saw a little punk. The pool reporter outside, a little big small town, and that's been CBS decided we need him to do us a favor. There's a Zapruder thing that's emerging. As some people claim, it shows Kennedy's head shot from the front. Now let me tell y'all something about the universal God that most folks don't know. If you get shot, your brain is moving so fast, it moves to the entrance, never exit. That's what happens when you don't know about universal law. That bullet, I don't care how fast it's moving, it don't move fast in your brain. So when you see it reach up and grab the front of his neck, that entrance. And so we look now, and we keep looking, and we keep looking, and we keep watching. We say, here it is. So now, we know now that the notes that the forensic adopted, he burnt them up at home. Nobody busted him about it. Nobody in authority. Now we know the coffin. On a military plane, they took it out, put on a military plane, and dropped it in the ocean. Now, what do you think is in there? All the notes and stuff, all the trick and stuff, they had to hide it somewhere. So they hid it in the coffin, and at a certain time, somebody would come get the coffin in 1999. Put it in a plane and drop it in the L.A. Times, so you all won't pull it up.
With GREgory, 99 was the same year that JFK Jr. died with his wife and sister-in-law.
Yeah. So he had a magazine. Remember George?
Yeah, George, yeah.
And somebody said that now that he was holding a press conference, and the book was blown up life size. And they said, now, Mr. Kennedy, now that you have a book and a research team, do you plan on finding out what happened to your daddy and your uncle? And he said, yes. Next question. I said to my wife, he just signed his death note. He just signed it. You can go back in the archive and look at that press conference. Kennedy, now that you he sent find out to come be your daddy, your uncle. Yes. Next question. I said, too late now. And so now you sit and you look. Now let me tell you something interesting though. Junior there. They found the wreck, they said, at Martha's Vineyard. by this big naval vessel, underground sub. Guess who brought the plane in? But here's the trick. Before all that happened, they found something real strange. A tourist at Martha's Bay found his wife's sister, who was on the plane with him. Piece of luggage that had washed up on shore. So I called the fender line at Woodhull. You can't have no research in any better than Woodhull. And I said, all I need to know is they said, Englishman. Can you imagine how many Americans at Martha's Vineyard in the summertime? And not all the people there are Englishmen. Now, they didn't tell you, and I'm going to tell you, from British intelligence, MI6. The problem was, when I got the information that which way was the tide going, it was coming away from the shore, so how can you push luggage up to the shore? And so, everywhere somebody moved to stop it, any of the brothers tried to stop it, anyone. They would kill him, including Robert Kennedy. Now, if you go back and look at the Robert Kennedy files, I would tell you to get the Cupselet show, Cupselet in Chicago. Saturday night, it was Robert Kennedy, myself, and a group of other people. And it was one of the old days when the networks would go off. You could hold a local show in. You just couldn't say what time because the local, it went off at all certain time.
Yes, sir.
Late. And then you ran it and nothing else come on after years. So we were all on the show. And Crumpset was a bosom friend of mine. And so we go on a commercial. And that's when Bobby said, Dick, are you coming to California to help me? I said, when's the election? He said, June the 6th. All right. I said, when did you leave? He said, tonight. Now, I don't know that we not spill on commercial. I said, well, give me my $1 you owe me. And he said, what? I said, give me my $1 you owe me. And so by this time now, we back on and company said, did I hear you ask Robert Kennedy for $1? Yes, he owes me $1. Well, why he want to pay you now? Because I just told him if he goes to California tonight and win on June the 6th, he'll never leave that city alive. Now, this is not, that's on record, that's on tape. And he just said to me, I'm sorry you feel that way. And I said, the cup, that's why I want my $1. Come on, give me my $1, give me my $1. Now, listen to it good. Robert Kennedy was killed. And Robert Kennedy was killed. 3 days later, Earl Crutchley called me. Dick, you okay? Yeah, and I hear panicking. Yes, I'm all right. Dick, come on, I'm your man. You ain't ever with me. Cup, I'm all right. What are you talking about? He said, FBI haven't been by your house today? I said, no. He said, well, they come in the studio and ran fan and got that piece of tape. I said, well, they got the tape, so I can tell anybody in the world. You can tell them, but you never will be able to prove it. That's why that gang man got it. And so, in that now, consequently, and I know some of y'all sitting out there listening, say, well, how come they hadn't killed you? He tell you something. See, I'm serious about God. Okay? Now, I go to the church. You serious? I had fun at the church. But that's not where I came from. I'm serious about God. And I thought the God that I pray to, the God that created me, couldn't keep me faithful from flying me degenerate, ungodly thug, I'd be the first one to tell God, give me that gun, I'll pull the trigger myself. The God I'm talking about is the real God. I'm talking about the one that put every star up there, put every speck of hair in your head. That's the God I'm talking about. And I got to know that one and be worried about some punks? Steve. And so consequently, now as it moved and moved, and one of the Kennedy family OD'd on the airplane. Remember that? OD'd on the airplane. Coming from Iowa or somewhere, they say he went into the men's room and shot up and died.
Okay. Which Kennedy was this?
Oh, I don't realize. I got to hold all that stuff in my head. I got all that. I punch up one thing to find out. I'm sitting there. Which one of the Kennedy family? How many Kennedys you think in the history of the planet OD'd on the airplane in the toilet? You pick that up just like that. And so consequently, you look at all of that craziness, man. All of that craziness. 24 hours a day that they get by with because they control the power. And they all work together. We just had the summoning last night when we woke up. We went to bed. Old folks were asleep when the Iranian gentleman came speak. He thought that this morning when you woke up, not last night, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, everybody, 10 mighty nations is for it, except one. You know what that one is?
What?
Israel. That's how they work. Israel got together with the rest of them, and they said, now, Israel, what you got to do, you got to come out against it. Because if you come forward, they won't trust it. Is that the one, sir? If you come out forward, and the Iranians might say, no. Anything they for, we're against. That's how they work. These are all games. And so consequently, when Malcolm X was assassinated, those of us that witnessed it, Malcolm X was up on the stage speaking, and the 10 thugs that the government hired to go in there, they were shooting up when we fought to get the autopsy of Malcolm. All the bullets in Malcolm was going down. So if they stand on the floor shooting up, that means the government gave them blanks. And then we found out the CIA had went into Ottoman ballroom 2 weeks before. That's where they went in, chopped and created the holes in the wall and all that. And that's how they got it. I mean, it's not simple, but once you have the pattern, then you know what to look for.
But also, it's strange, too, because once again, you have a high-profile murder in Malcolm X, and they have a dance that night. You can have a dance at night that Malcolm get killed in the same place.
Well,
I mean, it's crazy how they do these crime scenes.
Yeah, but that's the game. That was the first time in the history of America, television, that a black man or a black person's body funeral was put in every white home. If you didn't turn TV station on, it was in there. You turned it on. We had 3 networks, NBC, CBS, and ABC. And they was in there, the homes, because CBS, NBC, and ABC, they had no respect for Malcolm. They thought it was going to be a shootout, man. Like, Nation of Islam and Malcolm's people, and they still did. And in the process of filming, they good stuff, but it never happened. Any white person, a black, turn the TV on during the funeral on any network here to your house. A black man in your house. Now let's switch to the 1963 March on Washington. Do you know King's speech really had no business running in full on television? What?
What?
That Kennedy was so long that they had to get ready for the evening news. They had to shut down and get back to the studio. But they stayed because of fear she out. Now, what does that mean? It means it was the first time people around the world, especially white folks and most black folks, had ever heard King's speech from start to finish. They heard little snippets of it. They got to hear from the time he started to the time he ended, although the lateness of the time, that shouldn't have happened. They should have been gone. They had the stringers back there feeding it to them, and when they got the whole speech. So they had the whole speech. And it wasn't because of honoring this black man, or we want the world to hear him. It was waiting for the guns, and Kennedy had already placed 7 divisions of troops around the Capitol.
You know what, Brother Greg, is interesting you said that because 50 years ago also, Malcolm did his speech, Message to the Grassroots. Then they said outline how the bars for Washington was controlled through the Big Six by the Kennedy administration.
Yeah.
And people don't even know that speech. A lot of folks don't even know that speech. It's available online, but people don't even know that speech. They don't even really celebrate that speech.
I didn't hear what you said.
Sir?
I didn't hear what you said.
I mean, a lot of people don't know that speech is available online. They can listen to it.
Oh, yeah. But they
don't celebrate that speech, so it was the truth.
No, but when you don't like yourself, you don't want to hear anything about you. Except another song.
Let me ask you this, too.
You know, we talking about the young rappers talking about bitches and hoes, huh?
Right.
You remember James Brown? And he said, "Shake your money maker."
Mm-hmm.
Now think about that. See, when you like people, you don't hear stuff they say. The money maker is a woman's vagina made from God, not from Harvard or Yale or MIT.
Right.
And when you use that to sell it, then it becomes a money maker. For all you women was listening to this and shake your money maker, you just jumping and howling. You know how filthy that song is? But it's okay because it's James Brown. Did James Brown like himself? How could he like himself when he put on coats and cut his hair and look like a woman ghost? Not my own hair. I'm ugly in that. That's what this game is about, man. The worst thing when you hate yourself and don't know it.
Yes,
Go
sir.
back. Start back in the 1910 and look at black suicide. That's some hate. You don't call I saw somebody lynch somebody. I hate myself. Look at the homosexuals like, oh, they're coming in with commit suicide because they was ashamed and embarrassed because they was gay in a society that didn't tolerate it. And too stupid to say, wait a minute, Abraham George Washington, first the father of the nation, well, he gay. If he wasn't, why would he wearing them tight satin pants and them little low high heel shoes, with a wig, and a ruffled shirt? Well, y'all, and if you take a look at it, well, he wasn't on that. He got a switching a little bit when he was walking. Go, man. Go. And so now we look at coming into the 50th year. We don't know how many hundreds of people's been murdered. We don't know how many cops have been killed because they knew something. And then we just put a period there. You know Bin Laden was killed December 01. So when he switched to the Oval Office, and you heard the president say, we got him. Now, was the president triggered? Oh, Lord, told him nothing. He really believed that happened that night. We got him. Well, all of us are sitting out here that low. He would kill, be still. 1 million got pictures of the body. And so now, the president speaking, and 10 minutes later, they switched to the White House. Now, the president just announced. Mom killed. Nobody knew the operation was going on. When they switched to the White House, there were hundreds of people standing for law with professionally made signs. Where did the signs come from? You just got killed. Then they go to every Sunday, they have to show a baseball game for free for all the folks in America that did not have cable and do not have cable. So like tonight, there'll be a free baseball game on.
Coming from a football game? Yes, sir.
No, baseball game.
Okay.
Every Sunday night. And so they switched to the Philadelphia baseball game. And they were selling God Bless America, America the Beautiful. And then we switched to the score. It was the light and the tied 1-1. Can that be 911? Come on, man. Can that be man? See, there's certain things they can change. See, like I said that to y'all, they can't run and change that. That's what the Civil War was.
But you know what? I heard recently that some people think that JFK's quote unquote assassination was a blood sacrifice.
What?
A blood sacrifice.
Anytime you die by somebody else is a blood sacrifice.
I want to ask you too, because it's another thing too, because I know when you talk about Malcolm X, I know James Farmer. There's a clip of James Farmer talking about his meeting with LBJ. Well, Lyndon B. Johnson asked him, had they ever found out who shot that Malcolm fellow? And James Farmer felt it was an international conspiracy. So I want to ask you about LBJ angle in the Kennedy assassination or any other aspect.
There's certain things I won't answer.
Okay.
And just like you don't tell everything you know.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not going to give nobody an XP whoop, not that I care, to label me as crazy or not. This is your show.
Yes, sir.
If I had my show, I would say some of the things that you might want to hear. But now let's go back to LBJ. And if you do this, man, because you know how to do it, that's why I love you, man.
I appreciate that.
Every time you call my house, my wife said, hey, he called. He called. Now listen to this. We got to go back and get the tapes at the 1960 Democratic Convention.
Yes, sir.
And Sam Rayburn was there on the platform. He was speaker. What they call him?
Speaker of the House?
No, the Senate. What's the guy's name that's head of the Senate now? From Vegas.
The big Reed, Harry Reid.
Harry Reid. Well, Sam Rayburn was the same job Harry Reid had. Lyndon Johnson was vice president. So now we at the 60 convention. And they clapped and brought Lyndon Johnson out, and he drunk as a skunk, man. And they said to him, we want you to be vice president to this ticket with Kennedy. And Johnson cussed somebody and walked off the stage drunk, stabbing. Now picture this in your head. Johnson's walking off the stage angry. And he came back and said, I have more power in 1 hour than the vice president had in 100 years. We walked back again and Sam Rayburn caught him and whispered something in his ear. And he went back and said, I accept. Now, why wouldn't you think Sam Rayburn said, go in, man, you be president, right? That's why I say you have to look at the film. You have to look at him and see him. That's why I thought he had something to do with it, right? Until Walter Cronkite, who was one of my good friends. And I had a confrontation with him and said, if you died, I wouldn't go to your funeral. If your mama died, but see, the white people understand, that's called joning. But your mama, your daddy. And so, here's what happened. He did a 5-part interview with LBJ in Austin, Texas. And here's the reason I stopped believing LBJ had something to do with it. He said, President Johnson, do you think that Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone conspiracy? Or do you think it was a conspiracy? I said, yes, I know it was a conspiracy. I think Lee Harvey Oswald played a part, but he didn't act alone. That's what he said, right? And 3 days later, LBJ was dead. His wife, Lady Bird, was in town in Austin, shopping, when they called her. Now, at that time, Austin, Texas had one of the most powerful heart centers in the world. I mean, your chances were real improved if they get your plane fly you there. So when the Secret Service then got on the plane to rush her to the hospital, she went to the hospital in Austin. She had no idea they're going to put him on a plane and fly him all the way across Texas to Brooke Army Hospital, which was the #1 burn center in the world. Had nothing to do with heart. That's what I need, that LBJ. when party. And they called him his life.
What about the fact?
Wait, hold. So now, when Cronkite ran that series, right? That part was deleted. So when I see my old friend, I said, man, how come you didn't run that part? I got tears in my eyes. He said, CBS overruled me. I said, my grandmother don't call CBS Uncle Walty. And for those of you who don't know, everybody in America called him Uncle Walty. But they never called CBS Uncle Walty. They called you that. Now we go back to Dan Rather. Dan Rather was the poet, and they come up with the Supreme film, and they had to have somebody save them. So they said, well, the Kennedy family, they've been through enough pain. We can let that run publicly. But what we'll do, we'll pick one reporter to watch it for the whole world. And that was Dan Rather with his lying self. And he looked at it, and his children should be disgraced. Huh? Because all of us out here that had children, people was looking at them like they was crazy. Huh? Teachers saying stuff at the school. Couldn't care less. My children couldn't eat it. They was vegetarian. Now all they wanted was some M&Ms. No sugar and candy in my mouth. All they wanted was some M&Ms. And so consequently, when he came out and announced to the world he's reviewed the film and there was no bullets hitting him from the front, that dog. When this country falls, we can trace it back to him and a whole lot of thugs like him. And he sits around now like he the D. The New York Times. You know damn well the New York Times, the Washington Post, and cops all over the world. Not all cops. You got some good, decent cops out there. And I don't say that as an excuse. People say, well, you know, all the cops is not that. Anytime a doctor commit now practice, don't everybody say all the doctors are not bad. That's why you have to say that for cops. You know, there's something wrong with cops. When I was a little boy, I didn't know nothing about police brutality. I just know all my friends, we wanted a fire truck for Christmas. I had never met anybody want a police car for Christmas. I don't even know if cops children want a police car for Christmas. That's universal law. I want a fire truck, not a police car.
You know what interesting? You talk about the journalists. You talk about Walter Cronkite, and Dan Rather. But there's one journalist I thought that there's a really unsung, Dorothy Kilgallen. Because she actually interviewed Jack Ruby and they killed her.
Yeah.
And her friend.
Well, you got to ask this question. I wonder how she got in there other than she was so big. She had the biggest TV show.
Right.
The game show.
What's my line? Yeah.
And I don't know how she got in there to interview Jack Rubenstein. And here's what he said. Who was the guy she went with, you know? Do you know who the person accomplished that?
No, I don't.
But you know it was two people. I'm asking you.
No, I didn't know it, no.
Well, who you said they killed? Her and who?
Oh, yeah, it was two people. Her best friend who had she had made 2 copies of the transcript. And she gave one to her friend who got killed like a day or two later. Her best friend.
Yeah. He said what happened is, here's what he told her.
Okay.
He said, I'm glad you came here. He said, but let me tell you what I can do. If you can take me out of here and interview me, I'll give you something that will change the whole world. She said, well, let me get back and see what I can do. She died. They said, her husband was in the room in the house. He's just another. He is suicide.
That's interesting.
So this is you all's America.
I know Louis Lomax. I mean, he found out, I think, what happened with Malcolm and Martin. They killed him. He had no brakes in his car. And people forget about Louis Lomax and a type of great girl.
Why wouldn't they forget about Louis Lomax if it ain't on CBS and ABC? I thought the thing you reported it. Y'all got to stop being over black. Because when you get over black, you forget you're a white, racist, insane nation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When King was assassinated, he was one of the most hated men on the planet. Well, how can you hate me outside of America when you didn't know what I was doing? Who told you that? In order for you to hate me outside of America, you had to be told by somebody I was a communist. You had to be told. And now, he's the most admired man in America. You think black newspapers had something to do? You think your show had something to do with that?
I mean, George Scholar was very critical.
Hold it. You said was what?
He was very critical, Dr. King. That's a black newspaper guy.
No, I ain't talking about that. Dude, look at the people who's critical of Christ.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yes, sir.
You trying to elevate punk thugs into the big leagues they not. I'm going to ask you again, who has the power to make King the most hated man in the world with billions of people that ain't never had Jetta ever? And then when they get ready to make him the most beloved person in the world.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you a little assignment, okay?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to tell you where to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Columbia University.
Mm-hmm.
Where Thurgood Marshall's papers are. And look at the nasty stuff he not only said about King, but about Howard University.
Thurgood Marshall.
And you know Thurgood Marshall, we find out on the Freedom Information Act, he was an agent for Hoover. You know that?
Yes, sir. FBI informant. Yes, sir.
So I just asked you, did you know it? Your mama don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. They don't want to know. Like A.L.L.
Well, then that, why would they know? See, you keep jumping to conclusions.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something about you. Once the universal God makes you wear the magic glasses, then you have them. You can never take them off, and you can never force nobody else to wear them. That's one of the privileges you have. If you're the greatest home run hit in the world, why you go out look at the little children play and say they can't hit like me? They ain't supposed to hit like you. Huh?
Yes, sir.
And so the other thing about the magic glasses, once you put them on, you don't see things as they supposed to be. You see them as they are.
Yes, sir.
All right? So that's what that's about. And so there's a whole lot of people listening to this now. Oh, my God. Stop it. Thurgood Marshall. And he said his excuse for the family, he was trying to guarantee Hoover that there wasn't no communists in the civil rights movement. But how many people died because of them reports he was turning in? Okay? Alex Haley. I told you before, he wrote none of that stuff about Malcolm. Alex Haley came out of naval intelligence, sit there, to make sure Malcolm was killed right. And when he was killed, they changed all the stuff in the books. Matter of fact, they had a page 122 that I was the one that told Elijah Muhammad about I told Malcolm about how Elijah's woman. Now, who wouldn't believe it the way Alex Haley was at them right there? And I kept telling Malcolm, man, you do a... And you also know that Kunta Kinte, came out of that white boy's book. You know that, huh?
Yeah, Harold Coleman, the African, yes.
Yep, Coleman, the African. And one of the things you should do so your people will have a good service, you need to punch up the trial. You know the trial took place in federal court about him stealing that out of Harry Colombi. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
Out of federal court in upstate New York. Well, you need to bring that in and read what the federal judge said and made him and the publisher pay Colombi $650,000 and chastised him in open court. Long as I've been a judge dealing with this, I've never seen anything as filthy as what you all just did. Okay? And I demand that you apologize, admit it and apologize, and they did right there. Now, let's look at something else. That movie, you can probably find this. I hate to keep giving you a sign. To see how much money, all of that stuff that Alex was supposed to have put on paper, see how much of it, royalties, hundreds of millions of dollars, royalty, it was so big, man. So big. when Alex died, and you really need to look this up, he lost his farm in Memphis. Pay off his creditors. Did you know that?
Oh, yes, I heard about him having some financial difficulties in the state.
You have to know that. If he's doing, here's the thing about if I owe you $100,000 and I'm an alcoholic and a drunk and a gambler, you don't have to worry about me spending all the money because the royalties come in every 6 months. All you got to do is go into court and put a hold on my royalties. Mm-hmm. So why is somebody going to take 2 cents on the dollar? I forget all of it because he never had it. Okay? He never, ever, ever had it. Huh? That's the game. And that's how you can trick people. When they don't like themselves, they'll take anything that the white supremacists tell them. And remember, the white supremacists ain't no Ku Klux Klan. Right. Killed them on the way to get lead. Right. Okay. I tell you one thing about them southern white folk, because they lived next to me. Mm-hmm. They had babies by me. Mm-hmm. They looked at me and looked at you, my starting boy, but we can't tell nobody that, right? But they knew one thing, and they said it 50, 60, 75 years ago. By God, if you give that Lazarus the right to vote, they'll be in the White House. Harvard didn't know that. Yale didn't know that.
Well, I mean, Robert Kennedy do it, though. I mean, Robert Kennedy, he said there's going to be a black president sometime in the very near future.
Yeah, well, let me tell you. Mm-hmm. When the first Polish Pope, became Pope, I said to God, God, now that we have a Polish Pope, you think we'll ever have a Negro Pope? And I heard God say, yes, but not as long as I'm president. Not as long as I'm president, okay? Mm-hmm. All right? That's it. So I say the same thing. Okay? So somewhere you have to understand that somewhere when you hear that, I'm sure he knew one day, he didn't say what day, that there would be a black president. Or he would say one day, somewhere in the next so and so would have happened, you know. Mm-hmm. But a whole lot of people know, you know. And so I didn't know the odds. I didn't know when there was the first black president, there'd be no black people in Congress, in the Senate. Are you telling me it's easier to get a president of the United States, but not get one in the Senate? Mm-hmm. What's that about?
I mean, it's speaking like a white supremacy, as you say, the white supremacy thing. Mm-hmm. Because you talked about agents, you touched on Thurgood Marshall, Dave, agent for the FBI. What about, I know you told me last week about Huey Newton and Eldridge Cleaver.
Not Eldridge Cleaver, they was not just agents, they was punk drug dealers, man. They went picking dogs off the street and zap in to do that, to get black folk killed. How you gonna have some thugs hold a press conference and say, we gonna kill the white racist police? You just told every white cop or every light-complected black cop, when you see a black man turn the corner, grab your gun. That's what that was about. That's what that was about. Well, that's where they go.
Were you two Fred Harrison in the same class as Huey did?
No. You just violated Lee. You should ask me, where do I put Fred Hampton? Don't say you put Fred Hampton. That's a violation.
Yes, sir.
Fred Hampton was killed because he wasn't talking about killing the white racist police. Fred Hampton said, look, when a black child goes to school at 5, that's the first time that child is tested for lead poisoning. He's had it all his life, so they started testing young black children for lead poisoning at 2 years old. They had a food program for black babies. That's what he got killed for. As long as they're talking about kill the white racist police, do you know the Black Panther never killed a cop?
What about you with the Officer Frey, the guy that he went to the gas station or the sheriff for?
I didn't hear you.
Oh, the guy that he went to jail for back in the 60s, Officer James Frey? Yeah. He just ain't Fry or whatever. Yeah. You didn't tell me he didn't kill him?
Who didn't kill who?
Oh, Huey Newton didn't kill that cop.
I didn't say he didn't. What you mean? You said it. You need to tell me. I told you nothing.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's the narrative that they put out there that he got, he shot the cop. You didn't say that, but they said that.
Wait. Shot a cop when he was a Black Panther?
Yeah, back in the back in the 60s. When he went to jail, Free Huey moved it when they had the Free Huey thing going on.
Maybe they can tell you anything, but they got all kinds of cops get killed. Don't forget the big case in Philadelphia, the brother's still in jail.
Abu Jamal, yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, then who killed a cop? Abu Jamal had a 45, and the cop was killed with a 38.
That's just, but you said logic is suspended in the land of white supremacy. There's no logic.
Huh?
There's no logic when you're dealing with white supremacy. There's no justice for black people.
Well, it doesn't have to be no logic because we got people believing the white supremacy, a bunch of ignorant, redneck white folks. White supremacy is the most powerful people on the planet.
Yes, sir.
Huh? That's how white folks is 3% of the world's population, and non-white folks is 97%, but the 3% control the whole planet. That's not ignorant, redneck, can't read, can't write.
Yeah, you know, I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Now I was thinking about Geronimo Pratt, too, as well, but he spent almost 30 years in jail. And the Panthers knew he was in a meeting with the leadership. Even the FBI had footage of that. But yet they let him go to jail for 30 years almost. Knowing they had evidence that he was in a meeting with the Panther leadership.
Did they kill King?
Yes, sir.
Well, what's worse, to be killed or go to jail for 30 years?
I think oh, that's a trick question, right?
No, it's not. You get to see your children grow up.
Okay. Yes, sir. But his wife got killed. You know, his wife got killed when she was like 8 months pregnant. Geronimo Pratt, first wife, got killed and stuff in a bed mattress, and they found her in a ravine in Los Angeles. But he went through a lot of hell. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he thought I don't know. It's just disturbing that we keep on thinking things gonna be different.
Thinking what?
Things gonna change. I mean, I know some things change, but a lot of things it seems like it's remaining.
They killed Jesus Christ and told me to call it a good day, so I called it Good Friday. Thank you, weekend.
Yes, sir.
Tell my Jesus that was a good day.
I want to ask you about the Kennedy thing. When you say he actually survived Dallas, I mean, how long did he live? What happened to Kennedy? If he was
I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to put it this way. Couple of magazines. I think it was named now.
Larry Flint.
Larry Flint. Gave me and friends millions of dollars to investigate the Kennedy King assassination. That's why he was shot. But he didn't die. So I was down there with him, and so now we're looking for somewhere that people can deal with a person that's paralyzed like that. So found out it was University of Ohio's Hospital. So we went there, and just like you're looking at a maternity ward, and you see babies from the front glass to the back. Well, there they have a ward for nothing but those paralyzed folks that can never move their eye. And from the front to the back, then something I found out. 3 out of every 5 people that put a double-barrel shotgun in their mouth and pull the trigger, 3 of them don't die.
Oh, God. That's horrible.
They become vegetables. That's that will to live. That's their universal goal for. They can never walk again, but they don't die. So you just ask, where's Kennedy's plane, huh? Why were all them people getting killed? When they crashed Teddy Kennedy's plane, he sent me a message while he's in the hospital, said, I need to see you. I don't think my plane wreck was a plane wreck. I sent a message back to him and said, you better keep your mouth shut till you get out of that hospital. You never get out. When he came out, he never sent for me. Then by that time, he'd been recruited by the CIA.
What about late Chappaquiddick? We hear about Mary Jo Peshney, I believe her name.
She was CIA hoe. And they thought they was at a party. And they didn't know they was going to kill her there. She didn't leave her. If you look at the autopsy, you've not seen your autopsy, she died from a karate chop to the back of her neck, not from drowning. And then go back, you need to look it up. Can you see where Kennedy was in the car drunk, remember? And he went off into the water? Did you forget that Kennedy had a broken back from the plane wreck, and there's no way in the world he could have opened up a car door and got out and swam?
Yeah, because the plane wreck was like in 64, I believe, and Lake Chappaquiddick was like, what, 69?
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm. So probably, yeah,
So that's what that was about. And you know how much the Negans they settled out of court?
No, sir, I ain't hear about that.
Family? Sure, they settled out of court.
But you know, I think she was a roommate to a woman who was dating Bobby Baker, LBJ Senate secretary, and she died in a plane crash in Maryland, I believe, a couple of years before that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's strange how these people like all connected to all these people that end up getting killed in crazy ways.
Well, look at the guy in the Clinton administration,
Vincent Foster, that's a very
Foster. Now, usually they don't tell you.
okay.
Vincent Foster was found to commit suicide in the park, huh?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you can walk in the park at forensics with all the stuff they got and then find no grass stains on his shoes. Mm-hmm. They found rug fibers, which was wherever they killed them, they wrapped it in a rug. That day was about.
I saw, you talking about the Clinton administration. I know it was a woman that Georgetown Starbucks massacre. Well, all those 4 people. I mean, the manager was connected to the Clinton administration. She worked for Bill Clinton in the White House right before the Monaco whiskey scandal. They never solved that case, right? It happened at Georgetown back in 97 or 96.
Monica Lewinsky?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me give you something. You know about the massacre at Starbucks?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They never solved it. It was in Georgetown, right? Right before the whiskey scandal broke.
Oh, wait a minute. No, it was after it broke.
It was after? Okay, was it like the summertime? Right?
Monica Lewinsky was gay, and the woman that married that, she was her lover. She called her and said, I'm coming out and I've got something to tell you that's going to blow you away. Mahoney was the manager.
Yeah.
They come in and robbed it. $10,000 in the drawer. They didn't take a penny. A white dude was passing by, and he said to the police and the press, he said, I saw it. They didn't look like robbers. They looked like Hitler, and believe me, 2 weeks later he was dead.
I ain't hear about that. Wow.
Huh?
I mean, people don't even know about this stuff. They only know about this case.
Well, shit, they know. My mama don't need to know. She ain't gonna do a damn thing about it.
Well, they got people doing back in the 70s, right? They'll get rid of some of the witnesses and participants in the Kennedy thing, like, Sam Giancana, Johnny Roselli, some other witnesses as well, and participants.
Meaning Arkansas, right?
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Meaning. You know about the 2 11-year-old twin boys that was found dead on the railroad track?
Yes, sir, I heard about that, yes.
And they said they went to see. He pain came and cut both of them head. You can trace that back to Clinton.
Well, they call it, that's Medina, Arkansas. What is like, what's the name of it?
Huh?
Was it like Medina, Arkansas, or something like that?
Katrina. Right outside of Little Rock.
Yeah, I heard about it. I know I saw a documentary about it. It was running drugs from Colombia, whatever. They're like, the drug spot.
Running the whole drug piece in.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 little boys whose mother was dating happened to see these planes coming in and taking off. They wouldn't told their mother. They took them out. You saw what? So that's what it's about. So anyway, there was the games.
I want to take a couple calls. I know people don't pay. I want to take a couple quick calls about my brother Greg.
No, okay, because I got to get out of here. I got a book to be served, and I'm pulling boxes in here, going through papers and stuff.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. So I won't let people do.
Before we do that, I pulled the paper out. That 2 papers. One is that in the 50s, you need to pull that out and share it with your audience. The CIA went to a village outside of Paris and put acid into the wheat they was eating. They laced it with wheat with acid. And it made people think they was airplanes. They started jumping off the fields and off the mountain and dying. CIA has finally admitted it. Even in the 50s. When you think about what's happening in the black community, who we just believe just like them. Like, this is Negro stuff. Oh. And then this one is the one that probably wiped Lee out. in Boston, Massachusetts in the early 20s. The early 20s now, that's when we had a Atomic Energy Commission. Can you do that? Early 20s?
The 20s? Wow.
Look it up. And then they did a test. They wanted to find out how liquid radiation affected the human body from the blood, the circulation. They had at the hospital there, where it was like a college campus, but nobody could go there but little retarded folks that will never be normal, that could never leave. And this government, which is all white folk or black folk, wasn't in there, could never be normal. They laced nuclear dust into their oatmeal. Who was responsible? Quaker Oats was part of it.
Wow.
These are white folk, they was doing it like this. So what do you think makes me act with such weird, strange behavior? And so somewhere, you know, when the world wake up, it'll be too late. So we'll get to the people.
All right. We got first caller. Area code 860. Hello? You on we all be. Thanks for calling in. You got a question for Mr. Gregory or comment?
Big Gregory. Hello,
God
sir.
bless you. Peace and love and happy holiday to you.
Yes. One question that comes to my mind is regarding the ghetto.
I'm sorry. Wait, hold up. Hold. Talk a little slow because something wrong with this connection. You said one thing that comes to your mind?
Yes. I'm going to try to say as slow as possible. In regards to the hood, that we have no control over anything. So, in regards to that means what we live in now, where it's popular black people, we live in so-called camps, or what they call a concrete area.
Okay.
So, one thing that funny that people talk about when they see these things about people being locked up more, black people being more camp up or rounded up, all this stuff. Doesn't it feel like people are conditioned into a country camp already? I mean, I follow some of the history of Germany, and so it's almost the same thing similar to around here in America. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah.
Okay?
The difference was, let me just say this what you think. The difference was when Hitler said he was building a super race, and he wanted to get rid of the misfits, he wasn't talking about black folks. He was the crab on Apple, he was the crab on Germans. It was the Germans he was talking about. He didn't kill the Jews because they thought they was misfits. He killed Germans. Like he said, we're going to build a super race. We cannot do that with them. Huh? And so when you look here in America, if they kill you, they're not going to kill you because they think you're a misfit. They know who you are. They know about your melanin. They know about your greatness. That's what that's going to be for. And once we pull out of the violation of the universe, I'm not lacking what God gave me, my nappy hair and big nose, big jaws. And see, we talk about how they disrespect, because Obama, well, go back to, what's her name? He had more PhDs than Bush's whole cabinet.
Oh, Condoleezza Rice?
Yeah, Condoleezza Rice. They never called her doctor. They called that old gangster thug Kissinger Dr. Henry Kissinger. They called her Condi. You never called Janet Reno Janny.
Right.
And when you walk down the street, notice, you can go to a convenience store and get a soda pop darker than hers, called Dr. Pepper. And you better go in and ask for it by its full name. If you go in there and say, give me one of them peppers, they give you a chili pepper. Well, it just may happen. We just don't want to admit.
Yes, sir. We got another caller from yes, y'all.
Did he have another question? I thought he had another question.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's see.
Did he?
Kyle, you have another question? Hold on, you have another? Okay.
I think that would be fair to Mr. Gregory, or Big Gregory for now. I'm not gonna go hold the caller's time, but I hope when I catch you on the scene, I'll ask you more deeper questions. Is that all right?
All right, my brother. Peace and love.
All right, thank you, man, for the question. Appreciate it.
Oh, leave my brother your phone number. I'll call you back tomorrow and we will do it on the phone.
Yeah, definitely get in touch with me if you want to contact with Mr. Gregory. Just give me your number. My email is r2c2h2@gmail.com, or you can leave it on my cell at 901-299-4355. We're gonna move on to the area code 202. You on the air? Welcome, we all be.
Yes, I am. Mr. Gregory,
God bless you.
I've listened to you for years, and I give out a lot of information.
Hold 1 minute, man. I just said God bless you and have a happy Thanksgiving with you and your family. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Thank you. I didn't hear that part. I've heard you give out a lot of information that we've needed to know, and I just wonder, with all the information you have, whether the Kennedy family ever called you to ask you any questions, or the Warren Commission. Did any law enforcement agent call to ask you to share that information with them so they could help resolve the murder?
It don't work that way because they know why does they got to ask me. I get on a show like this and say, hey, let me take it. The Warren Commission sent for me. See, the only way you can protect yourself is don't hide nothing. You know, you go there and think, oh, man, I got a little secret. No, I'm going to tell the whole world. Okay, if y'all come after me, it wasn't because of I didn't tell all of it. I don't have no secrets. I got 10 children. We never, ever had a gun in the house. I've been always listed in the phone book. You cannot see a gun and a Bible in the same house. You cancel out the Bible. You cannot be afraid. Fear is a violation of God. You cannot be afraid if that God can't protect me. Kennedy had the whole United States military protected him. Did they get him? So there's only one person you can know. And another thing about prayers, if you was praying for something for Thanksgiving or somebody was sick, you can't pray twice. That shows you have no faith. Like, hey, I need to borrow $5,000. You say, okay, I can't keep asking you. Because once you say that prayer, then you start praying a prayer of thanksgiving. Thank you. You know it's coming. And so it's that simple. But no, I've had people. I'm the one who released the picture with Ron Brown with the bullet in the back of his head. It never was a plane like he died in. And they couldn't deny it because the people that gave me the picture, they did the autopsy at the Armed Forces Institute of Pathology. I get a lot of cops come and tell me stuff, but it's white Christian stuff. They old line, they're getting ready to try to get to heaven.
Right.
And so they're trying to clean themselves up. So it be an awful lot. Then I get trick people call. I get people call in the shows and they're agents, and they try to start. I couldn't care less. Do you know? See how I feel about a agent.
Yes, sir.
You cannot be a spy without finishing college. You know how dumb you got to be to go to college with aspirations of being a spy? That's like wanting to be Licky Mouse when you grow up. You serious? You sit there the dumbest. So that's why they make so many mistakes. And if they didn't have the press and the TV shield, you can do it for a little while, but it's not going to last forever. See, what they was able to get by years ago, they can't get by now because you got too many independent voices out here, and they can't kill them all.
Yes, sir. We got one more caller on here. Area code 443. Welcome, we all be.
Hi.
God bless you.
Greetings, Mr. Gregory.
Thank you.
I hope everything's blessed with you.
It's fantastic. And
I'm
thank
doing
you
okay.
and your family, and a good, happy holiday to you.
Oh, thank you. Wow, I've got to sum all this up into one quick question. I know that. I had the pleasure with during the 80s and the 80s and 90s working with Rory Kennedy. And so I knew her as far as doing activist work and that.
Sure.
And when John had George magazine, which I loved. I mean, gosh, I really loved that. And I talked to her and I said, well, hey, how about doing the story about Mumia Abu-Jamal? So she said, if you be receptive to that. She said, well, why don't you just ask him directly? So within time, what happened is he had an interview with Mumia's attorney at that time, Wineglass, which happened to be the day of the crash. And a lot of people don't know, but one of the final issues in George magazine was that John also went to Cuba and talked to Castro. And Castro apologized and said that if I had met with your father, perhaps maybe that wouldn't have happened with the assassination and all that stuff like that. There have been so many people in there. Now I can say this: what happened the week before that plane crash with John and his wife and his sister-in-law were on, was that he was being targeted by the Philadelphia police. People can go back and look at the Philadelphia paper, the Inquirer, and that.
Hold it 1 minute. You said you had to tell my grandmother because she was a little slow.
Okay. John was receiving a lot of threats from the Philadelphia Inquirer, through the newspapers there in Philadelphia, because he was coming out with the book, and it was talking about what ways that of people commenting about to make America better, and that included Mumia's commentary in there. And well, look what he did. Not only, and you know the type of person he was with the heat that he got with meeting with the Irish, the Irish party that a lot of people don't like, and he went over and met with them. He had received threats in that, and of course, not only did he put Mumia in the book, but he put it in the foreword as well too. So I also talked with Rory afterwards and talked to Robert Kennedy Jr., because the work that I do with Latin America. Yes. And they listened to what I had said, because we were trying to get a hold of them before everything got finalized, and that because we're wanting to say what we had to say. And what I'm saying is personally as an activist. I'm not saying this as far as with moves and their supporters, but from people that what we could see with the threats that were being made as supporters, that we challenged that and brought out and questioned about with John being killed. And Weinglass, he asked him about when he did meet and talk with him that day, and he said, well, he asked some very important questions, quite detailed questions about Mumia's case. So I seem to think that he would have did an article if possible. For our younger people, how can we tie this into because, we're looking at the time was just 1963, we're 2013, 50 years, and they just seem to think we moved from it, of it's something that just can happen. And like you all were talking about with Obama, if you look at what happened with the Navy Yard shooting, the word going around in the D.C. area, within D.C., and that was the people that were killed were those who were involved of an assassination attempt on Obama.
That's right. Now hold it. Oh, don't move up. Don't stop. One of the things that happened is the brother. It was two people, two black and one white man. What the world didn't know, he was part of them. They didn't know they were setting him up for a trick. Now the Naval Guard, the budget is $40 billion a year. What are they doing in there? And I don't know if you saw that TV, the tape that the FBI released on TV, where you saw him running through the hallway with the gun. Wasn't nobody in home with 3,000 people working. How come we didn't see nobody? He wasn't shooting nobody. He wasn't yelling. Because 3 weeks before, they did a dry run on a simulated test of how you deal with a terrorist. That's when they took that picture of him. Now, if you go back and get all the pictures, and I don't know if I've sent you one, I had Lil send it to you. You see the Nuttervax when it comes in. They had two black men in it dead. That's how they got in the building. That's why nobody saw them. Then they say, oh, wait a minute, he worked here. He had an office here. Oh, wait a minute, he had parking here. No, the car was left at his hotel. They're trying to justify how he got in with all them guns. There was one white officer that said, I was standing next to my friend who was killed, and when they killed him, I was waiting to hear the guns go off, and I didn't. And that made me know that these people they was killing was targeted. Wasn't no accident, otherwise he would have killed me. And so you're right on that. You're very right.
Oh, wow. Hey, that's great. Thank you for the question. And also, I want to ask you this too, and before you go, I got two things, quick thing. I actually last week didn't make it on the air like I thought, like about Corny Kilpatrick. What was your thoughts about him? Corny, the former mayor of Detroit.
Kilpatrick?
Yeah, yes, sir.
He got 28 years in jail now. And the one thing, he's the baddest Detroit is, he's the only black person in Detroit be guaranteed 3 meals a day for the next 28 days. The rest of them won't. No, Connie Kilpatrick attacked Henry Ford, and he don't do that. Okay? When he had them strippers in the house at his party, remember that?
Yeah, Cameron Green at the mayor's mansion. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and both of them strippers are dead.
But he told me, I know Cameron. I heard about Cameron Green getting killed in 2003. Yes, sir.
Well, the most important thing, not that they killed him, they was killed with police guns. That's what I'm saying. The cops is, might still responding to it. But none of that came out. Didn't come out in the trial, didn't come out in nothing. So if he was found guilty, little white boy came out and said, oh, come on now. I'll pay the fine and you'll go to Detroit. You go to Dallas, and we get you a job. And evidently he must have said something that made him mad again. They brought him back in. And now he's back in jail.
But it is strange you did, like, some of these guys who, like, second, third generation political people, like, I look at Jesse Jr. and now Kwame, whose mom is Carolyn Kilpatrick, he's in trouble. What does it say about black leadership in politics?
It don't say a damn thing to show you how stupid we are. How old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay, do you remember when you was young, you used to go out and dating the girls? And when they get up to go to the ladies' room, I never understood why all women went to the ladies' room at the same time at the table. Did you have anybody at that reach in the little pocket and pull that little flask of whiskey out and doctor up their drinks? You ever had that happen?
No, I never had that happen. No, sir.
Did you ever buy women drinks?
No, sir.
You didn't? Never?
I mean, they like, maybe like, about like, Coke or something like that, but never alcohol.
About that, man. You just an honest dude. You're on the other side of being gay.
I'm living it.
You don't want to do nothing but take your grandmother to church and pray. No, here's what happened. They had some stuff called Spanish fly. You can drop in a woman's drink, and he might snatch all her clothes off right there. That's what happens to the body. They had stuff they can take you as a political leader. Take you to the restaurant and talk about how beautiful you are. And there's certain things that need to happen. And that stuff will make you think everything goes. Okay? And then they make you an offer. And every time they see you for lunch or this and that, they drop that, they put it in your food. That's why I say people like you don't never let nobody take you to dinner and decide what restaurant you're going to. And so all at once, that stuff in factory. Didn't I tell you they had some stuff they put in the bread and it made everybody think they was airplanes? They thought, well, they got that, huh? Have we forgotten not too long ago? They had reports of 2 cannibals eating folks. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Miami, I think in Baltimore, too, if I'm not mistaken.
And in Baltimore. You haven't heard no more about it, have you?
No, sir.
You haven't heard you haven't heard the government even comment on it, huh? Okay? So every now and then stuff get out there and they got to put it back in. So I'm saying that they have something that they can drop on you. You see, they know the Negro traits. They know I can put something in there. That's why black folk to take alcohol or drugs, you got this messing with the body, you messing with your DNA, you messing with your blackness. That beautiful thing off the Latino gland, that's what you messing with. You know how many black folks don't know that malt liquor is not sold in white neighborhoods? They got so much manganese and that stuff, you'll kill your mama. All you folks that go out there and get your little reefer, it's dirty as this, man. Where you think the reefers come from? What do you think they put in them? Y'all think y'all so hip? You know? I'm not telling you not to do it.
Right.
I'm just saying you go out on the corner, they got medicine out here to kill people. And when the pharmaceuticals get caught, they just say, we'll pay $600 million, but we don't have to admit we did it, huh?
Yes, sir.
So y'all going out there and get this stuff. If a woman drinking or smoking gets pregnant, that's going to affect the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean they tell you can smoke research, it's legal? And it's not going to affect her? Come on, South Susie, y'all. And I'm not saying this for y'all to stop doing it. You have a right to do anything. I never smoked reefer, but I used to drink before I found out.
Yes, sir.
What they can do. And I know what they can do. And so it might be, you might be gone beyond the point of no return. See, once a woman gets 9 months pregnant, she can't abort. And so, and if you didn't do that, they find something else. They got some stuff. I looked at some tests where they can come to a football team, 100,000 people, and drop this gas, and you can turn into cannibals. Or they got some stuff you can turn into gay. Well, that ain't no secret now. It's the one thing you can go to the health food store and buy, and it change your DNA, change your male hormones, the female hormones. Yeah. Huh? You know what it is?
No, sir.
Come on, man. Know what it is? Soybean.
Soybeans does that? Wow.
You don't know? You never read soybeans?
I'm going to start reading on it now. I just know it ain't good. I just know it ain't good. It messes with your teeth and stuff like that. People just overdoing it.
I had a woman doing research for me, and I got this from the Chinese researcher, and she was typing up. When I went to get her, she was crying. She said, I wondered why my daughter is gay. You know, I said, what do you mean? She said, I've had her on soy milk since she was two months old. All you got to do is right there. You look it up. You see it. You know, how you going to trust a system this crazy and corrupt that don't care nothing about you? If a white boy don't let his wife and his mom and his daughter vote till 1921, she came over on the boat with the boy. Are you crazy?
Yes, sir. Here you go. I want to ask you one more question. I'm going to let you go. I'm sorry for keeping you. But I want to ask you also, I asked you last week about the irritated genie of Southeast. You ever heard of him, Warren Horizon? Supposed black supremacist that worked at Homeland Security. And he came out, they busted like Southern Poverty Law Center came out with an article and CNN and all these people saying that, you know, how can a guy like that work at Homeland Security, a high security place?
Well, Thurgood Marshall worked for FBI. You didn't get people to do anything.
But also they say that too, because there's a video out there of him talking about President Obama and Michelle Obama. He called President Obama a mulatto faggot. And also talking about Michelle Obama, how she dressed. Now she was like, you know, not dressed appropriately as First Lady when she was on these magazine covers.
Well, let me say this here. When a white First Lady is there, you think they would have ran that stuff online? You think they would have called a white boy a faggot? You know how many homosexuals we had in the White House, this president? They never told you about it, huh? What's the lady's name? That's the authority on Abraham Lincoln.
I know he come out. I forgot her name.
He never said he was gay. Everybody know he was gay in the black community. Cause we know blacks now. His mama went to one of them holy roly parties, and that's where it happened. Did you see the new Abraham Lincoln movie?
Yes, sir. I saw it.
When you see it start off, where you talking about this natty kink you had?
Yes, sir.
So you think he don't know? And the gay wing of the Republican Party, what they call log cabin Republicans?
Yes, sir.
Then log cabin. Who's the only person you ever know live in a log cabin?
Abraham Lincoln.
Okay, that's the codes. You know, the codes.
Well, Brother Gregory, I want to thank you so much for spending so much time with us at all.
Okay, but before you do that, the show I was on in New York, before I came on the show, they were just interviewing the lady who they
Sister Maggie Rose. Yes, sir.
took the peanuts off. And so I think now that it's getting winged, and I'll have Carl Nelson call you.
Okay.
And Bill Madison call you.
That's the Black Igor.
Yeah, and I'll have Mark Thompson call you.
Oh, I appreciate it.
It's out here all the way through, and then she'll get justice. They'll come to and settle that one because they can't win it. They're trying to scare her, and they won't be able to because it's so big.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I could handle that case for him. Never been in law school. All that to say is, he has shut his generation off. He can never have another him. His generation stopped right there. That's work.
Brother Gregory, I meet so many people, like so many of our people, they just like, oh, they don't get it. They don't understand. It's like it got to happen because they're somebody they love. But as an act again, how serious is this?
Black folks didn't just start doing that. We just threw it a different way. You know how many black folks and their children are taken to Disneyland to see a rat that had never carried in the kid's grave or his tomb. Had he not died for that, y'all wouldn't be able to get in there. So, I know how long white black folks been crazy. I'm black. I'm crazy.
Yes, sir.
You hear me?
Yes, sir, I hear you.
That's a game. And so there's a new group of youngsters that's coming through black and white that got a different ribbon. But they're going to have to work fast. There's a new group of children, if you haven't had discussion on your show, you need to, called the indigo children.
Yes, sir.
They're waiting to the return of second coming of Christ. They're already here. They're called indigo. And the ones behind that is called crystal, and the ones coming this year is called the fifth child. And everything's changing. So thank you. Have a good holiday, and anytime you need me, just call Lil.
Yes, sir. I'm going to have to wish her a happy birthday there. It's an honor, man. It's like,
Call the house and wish you a happy birthday.
I will. I will definitely do that. Thank you so much, Brother Greg. We love you madly. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.